Illinois 73, Penn State 65 at the Palestra on Saturday. A sleepy Illinois performance riddled with foul trouble and some poor shooting. In the end, a win. That's really all you can ask for in these, I don't know, off nights in Big Ten play. That's what championship teams do. We will recap all of it, but first, we must remind you this recap is brought to you by Tinker Coffee, the best in the Midwest. Promo code SLEEPERS gets you 50% off your first order of Tinker Coffee. I got 3 Tinker bags behind me. I got more bags upstairs. I have instant coffee packets. You just mix with water or milk. I mixed with some cold water this morning, and I'm sipping good. Cart, tell them more.
Greg, what if I told you that I forgot my cup of Tinker this morning?
And spit on you.
Yeah, that's a test. It's right here. Don't even ever let that question come across your mind. It's always in my cup. It's what gets me going early in the morning, even throughout the day sometimes. I really even look forward to my afternoon cup of Tinker. I am currently on the Zing blend. Like you said, Gregor, they got everything you need though. Whether it's, they got the beans, they got the grounds, they got the instant coffee, which I know you and a lot of people are a pretty big fan of. Honestly, great concept. Just go ahead and mix those two things together. Bada bit, bada boom, you got coffee. And also a thing that I think everyone should take advantage of, which I do, is I set up a recurring order. So I don't ever have to worry about running out of Tinker. Tinker is always going to be in the household. You can get an extra 25% off using promo code SLEEPERS. Get in on that discount. They say they are the best in the Midwest. I can stamp that. It is truly, truly a fine cup of coffee.
It is. We're not exaggerating. We've had sponsors before. Sometimes we exaggerate. This time, truly not. I think we're going to see Tinker in Indy at the Final Four. There's a chance that Illinois could be there as well. Just saying, maybe putting a Tinker order in promo code Sleepers might maybe manifest that somehow, some way. Let's get to the recap here. Cart, there's a couple different routes I think we're going to end up taking in this recap. I kind of feel like we're not the right wide receiver that just runs like slants or
Mhm.
just runs go. Like we're gonna run every route today, and some might be good routes, some might be bad routes. I don't know, but let's start with I think the good for Illinois. 4 guys in double figures: Boz, Andre, Murk, and Wagler, all in double figures. Outside of those four, pretty quiet nights from the bench guys. Really quiet night from Tommy, and we will certainly cover that. Um, let's just maybe big high level go this route first. Did this game ever for 1 second feel in doubt to you?
No,
Never.
no, it did not to me.
Penn State never led. Illinois was up 14 at half. Like it felt like there were a lot of quote unquote issues popping
Mhm.
up at the same time. Wagler in foul trouble, shots not going in, terrible Tommy night, all happening at the same time. If you would have told us before the game those 3 things would happen, I think we would have been like, oh shit, this could be a Penn State win. And instead, it's like, okay, everything went wrong. And no, it was still a no doubter. Why do you think that happened?
Because Penn State's bad.
Just Penn State's even worse than we thought, and maybe Illinois is a little more well rounded than we thought, even.
I just think that Penn State is they're a bottom of the barrel Big Ten team. They have to play lights out to give themselves a chance, right? They got to shoot the ball extremely well. They got to make shots. They got to be able to assert their will. And they just weren't able to in this basketball game. 21% for three for them, 34% from the field. Um, honestly, for them, I would even give them a nod. Pretty good defensive effort from them to be honest, holding Illinois to 73. Illinois was only 39% from the field, 22% from three. Um, they just they just couldn't do enough offensively in this game. And we can give that credit to Illinois, but also a part of this is that Penn State is Penn State and they need to be able to play, a lights out level of basketball to kind of give themselves a chance.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, lights out is probably the right term. They are going to have to play above their level anytime they're going to possibly get a win in this league. And look, I think we've talked about the Big Ten in a broad sense a couple times this year. I think there are some elite teams in this league, Illinois being on the verge of being one of them. The middle of the pack is fine. It's not as deep as it was a year ago. That's for sure. The lowest shelf of this league this year is like riddled with really bad teams.
Mm.
Maryland, when they're not at full strength, is this bad. I think Penn State is terrible. I think any given night, I kind of hate to say it, but any given night, Minnesota and Oregon can find themselves down there too. Penn State's 0-3 in the league right now. Feels like they're going to be like 2-18 in this league, depending on how the Rutgers game goes. And you saying like they need to shoot the lights out. They never shoot the lights out. This team can't shoot.
Yeah, well, it's a to your point, it's a playing above their means. It'd be a outer body Penn State experience.
Yeah, which I think in some sense has to be frustrating because I think coming into this game, especially given the fact they kept Michigan State close at home, right?
Mm.
I think Penn State and their fan was probably hoping they're like, oh, if we can just force whoever we're playing into a bad night, like we could muck our way, ugly our way to some wins. This is like a pretty awful data point for that because I thought they were the beneficiary of a lot of things going wrong for Illinois. Maybe not necessarily forced by Penn State, but like Wagler's foul trouble, Tommy being terrible, and Illinois missing every shot they took from three. Like that's the formula in theory for Penn State to like, oh my God, we can do it. They just still weren't good enough. It's crazy.
Yeah, you also got to make shots with that. You got to make a couple here and there, and they just didn't get enough in this one.
Yeah. Why is Kaden Mingo at Penn State?
I'm really not honestly sure. Like is his high school coach on the staff? Like who does he know there?
Is it so he can do this? Are we falling for that trap a little bit?
But isn't there a middle ground?
I don't know.
Like go do this at I don't even want to like disrespect the school here, but you know what I'm talking about, like go do it at a middling Big Ten team.
At risk of I don't know, hurting one of our guys that we love, stay in the same state of Pennsylvania, swap a Caden Lewis and Caden Mingo. Aren't the situations the same? Like Villanova's pretty good, and Mingo's like playing meaningful minutes and looking really good. And Caden Lewis is just lost, putting up empty numbers on a terrible team. Like, I don't
Mm.
know. I think Mingo's really good. I find myself frustrated watching his games here, but then at the same time, I wonder if I'm getting duped and like he's not that good. He's just putting up production because someone has to on Penn State. I can't really tell which one it is with him.
Well, good for him though, because that type of mentality is gonna get him probably 1.7 in the portal next swing.
It's true.
Because that's going to be the question that's asked. They're like, I mean, it's just a Penn State thing, right? Like
Right.
he's really that good.
Right. Yeah. When Jeremy Fears inevitably turns down North Carolina, they'll turn to Caden Mingo next year instead of
Yeah,
kind
what a
of.
battle.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Illinois things. Murk got a Ken Palm MVP. Did you think Murk was the best player for Illinois in this game?
I personally still thought it was Keaton, but I watched Keaton with googly eyes, somewhere like you, but not as googly as you. But I think this was kind of the game that I came away and I was just like, yeah, it was very You know what I'm saying? Like every good player in this basketball game felt like was on the verge of fouling out. So it was a really weird, odd game. The one thing, obviously, Keaton only played 20 minutes in this game. I think it hurt them as far as ball movement and creation type things. That's why I think you end up with a game where Illinois, they kind of reverted like stat wise overall to what it was earlier on in the year. Like less assists. They had 9 assists in this basketball. They had more turnovers than assists. They haven't had that issue at all since Keaton's kind of taken the reins as a full time PG. But with his foul trouble, I think that hindered them a bit in this basketball game. You didn't really get that creation from anywhere else. Like
Yeah, I
Boz played
guess,
35 minutes in this game and didn't have an assist.
in a weird way, I'm optimistic that this result and the way it played out could serve as like a pretty important learning lesson for Illinois. Again, I kind of keep talking. They're fortunate here a little bit. They're very fortunate the problems that occurred in this game happened against Penn State and not against Michigan.
There's a lot, not even Michigan. There's a lot of teams in this league that at their home court would have beat Illinois on this day because they did not play well.
Yeah, Iowa or Wisconsin or whoever. And yeah, they still like, don't get me wrong, Illinois wasn't terrible. Like I said, their four non-Tommy starters I thought were all individually pretty good outside of missing shots from three. The thing I like and have learned about this Illinois team is even on their worst nights, there's a higher floor than there has been previously for a couple different reasons. Number one, they're deeper. They got more guys. The minutes off the bench are usually pretty good. Number two, they're so good at the stripe
Hmm.
and they get to the free throw line a lot.
Yeah, which is once again makes you look back at like that Alabama game and just like what did you do that game?
Yeah. I mean, they were 23 for 28 from the free throw line in this game. Zvonimir struggled. Outside of Zvonimir, guys were 22 for 24 from the line. Like it's really, it gives you a high floor, right? When you can just get free points at the line all the time when you need them on an off night. Like I don't know, that mixed with, I think the Illinois defense is in a pretty good spot right now. Like it's a functional system. It might struggle against the best teams in the world, but it is a system that will make it really hard for bad teams to upset you. And
Mhm.
they're great on the boards. Like I don't know, they kind of check all these boxes of like we can we can have a lot of room for error. We can have bad nights and still find ways to win games. And I haven't felt that way in previous years about Illinois, but this game was kind of a nice little baseline game for me, I think.
Yeah, and like fact of the matter is they won a game against Penn State at a non-Penn State location.
Yeah.
I think Illinois, I'm not even joking. I just think Illinois is susceptible to losing games like this.
Yeah.
Like this game was never in doubt, like I said, but like it ending up an 8 point victory is a little bit nasty. I mean, you go the last, I think the last field goal was at 5:42, three-pointer
Yeah.
by Kylan to go up 13, and you
Hmm.
don't hit another field goal the rest of the game.
Yeah.
That's a little bit nasty work. And also, as we say this, I think it's also we got to throw it out there. You also beat Penn State by 8.
Yeah.
That's not it's not good. I'm speaking from a Michigan State fan here. My team beat Penn State by like I don't even know what it was. It was close though.
Or I
Wasn't
think.
it, but it wasn't a battle like this game, so it's not really comparable. But like at the end of the day, you get to the end of this, you're like, yuck. I beat possibly a bottom two team in the Big Ten by 8.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you. The funny thing is analytically Illinois rose in the rankings after this game.
That's a good call by analytics, honestly. I agree.
You go from ninth to eighth nationally after a pretty sleepwalky performance against Penn State. So,
Good job. Good
yeah.
job by Ken Palm.
I mean, you look at the rest of the top 10, they all struggled, right? Like Duke had a bad game. Gonzaga's been iffy. Houston, Louisville were in dogfights. Florida lost, so Michigan State lost. Yeah, I don't know. I like felt like a weird, felt like an early January week for the entire sport. And if this is an Illinois off night that still gets you an 8 point road win, I think you're happy with it. Individual stuff, I think you were probably right. Even though Murk was a Ken Palm MVP, felt like the story of this game, both the struggles and the good stuff for Illinois, was still Wagler, which says a lot about where this freshman is at. But he only played 20 minutes. He did have four fouls. Brad, very interestingly, went back to Keaton with two fouls in this game, which historically is not something Brad likes to do. He's gone on record with that. He is an auto bench guy. In this first half, couple things. Number one, when Wagler went to the bench with two fouls, they didn't go to Petro. That was really loud. I know we've talked about like what are they going to do with Petrovic? You're playing Penn State. You've got a 10-point lead. Your point guard is on the bench and you don't go to the backup point guard. That to me screamed what the plan is here. The plan is no Petro. I think Illinois people are coming to terms with that. Even the fans that want Petro, the media that cover this team, it felt like this was the moment of like, if you don't use him now, there isn't going to be a time to use him other than garbage time minutes. And Petro ended up playing 4 minutes in this game. He had one steal and one assist in 4 minutes, missed one shot. So I think that says all you need to know. Wagler on the bench with two. He did get put back in the game. Brad broke his auto bench rule. He would rather break his auto bench rule than play Petro. And he picked up a third very quickly. So I guess what did you make of Wagler's foul struggles and also Brad's handling of this? Would you have liked to see him go to Petrovic here?
Not really. But also I've reached the point where I've never had a thought to myself in any regard where I'm like, we need to switch. Like this game needs some Petro. Even when Keaton was in foul trouble, I was like, okay, let's just maybe give Boz a little bit more ball handling duties. Let's just switch things around a little bit. Let's not go ahead and pivot to Petro. The shocking part for me is that Keaton picked up his third because
Some of them
Brad
were
put
iffy.
they were iffy, but also like I lean on the side of even if they are, don't even put yourself in iffy positions. That's kind of where I'm coming from it, but I like that Brad did it. It also shows the level of trust that we believe he has in Keaton. Like because he believed that he could put him in the game and he wouldn't do that. Now he did, but I think that level of trust is still there with him. That's kind of where it is. I think it's a good sign for those two and for Illinois as a team that he trusts them to be in there.
Yeah, I thought there were a variety of ways
I
Brad could
also hate
go.
auto bench. Have we ever talked about that?
We haven't really had that conversation. Are you an auto bench guy? No.
No, no.
It does feel, and we are not a math podcast. Mathematically, it makes no sense, I don't think. Like, I don't know. It's like fouling your guy out, right? It might not happen. You're taking something that might not happen and guaranteeing you don't get minutes from a guy with two instead of five, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just I'm just not the biggest fan. Also, I'm a math guy this year. That's part of my analytics
I
2026
forgot.
package.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, situationally, like a guy picks up his second, you want to rest him for 4 minutes, fine. But like with this one, I think it was very early in the game, right? It was like midway through the first half. And yeah, to me, I was happy Brad did not go back to it because I think you see a lot of instances where guys, end up with two fouls that miss 10 minutes of a first half because they just so happen to come early. Um,
And
I
then
also,
get in the second half and pick up a third right away. It's like, well, I mean, what are we
yeah,
waiting like
could have happened anyway. I feel like but I think you're right. The important part of this was Brad's demonstration of trust with Keaton. I don't think there are many players throughout Brad's career, let alone a freshman, that he would put back in and break his auto bench philosophy. And he's compared Keaton to Io. Feels like Io is a guy he would have done this for. I don't think there's any other player on this team Brad would do this for right now. I know he loves Tommy, and we have to get to Tommy in a minute. I know he likes every player on this team, but like I don't think it was a minor thing that Brad showed this trust level this high with Keaton on the road in the Big Ten. And I thought Keaton delivered too, right? It wasn't a great Keaton night, but in only 20 minutes, he's your second leading scorer. 16 points on 9 shot attempts, 7 for 8 from the line, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Him and Murk were the only guys on this team with more assists than turnovers tonight. And I think the biggest thing you felt when Keaton was off the floor was the lack of ball movement, right?
yeah.
Because they basically go all in on ISO stuff the moment Keaton leaves the game, and it's well documented at this point. That's a worse version of Illinois.
Yeah, I just think it's so everything moves better when you have that heady level passer, playmaker, decision maker on the floor. And him only playing 20 minutes did play a major factor into why this game looked the way it did. How many players have to foul out in the first half for Petro to get minutes, do you think?
I think you would need to see Kylan and Keaton both with like three first half fouls, and then you would get
You might have to see four.
maybe so. But again, wait, it's kind of the convo we had last time. Petro's got to show you something, and he right
Does
now.
he have to? Like, does it even matter?
No, but in order for like just talking individually for it to change, right?
Oh yeah,
If he's going to get 4 garbage time minutes a game, and that's what this is, do something good in those 4 minutes.
yeah.
Like
So
assist and steal, it was fine, but it was still like visually, I didn't like what I saw from Petro in 4 minutes in this game.
he had to be watching this like, damn, I should have went to Penn State.
Yeah, him and Ivan Juric would get along great, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Okay, Kylan next for me. So if there was one guy in this game that like I think got more put on his plate, I think it was Kylan, given Keaton being out for 20 minutes. Kylan played 35 minutes, 18 points, 5 for 13 from the floor, 6 for 6 from the free throw line, hit 2 of 5 threes, 4 rebounds, 0 assists is the one mark on this game log for Kylan. And I did notice a couple times, specifically, there was one like situation, I want to say it was at the end of the first half, maybe, where they basically like dialed up a Kylan ISO. And in the moment I watched it, I was like, that doesn't feel like what he's good at. And also, like, wouldn't you rather do that for Andre? If you are going into like the booty ball stuff,
Mm.
you've got the elite ISO scorer, and that's not really Kylan's game. So I think all in all, like good Kylan game. There still is that dynamic to me that we talked about a little bit of like when Keaton's really good, where does that leave Kylan? This was a night that very clearly signals what a luxury it is to have both. If Keaton is in trouble somehow, some way, Kylan can step right up. But to me, it almost feels like a correlation, right? Kylan was probably the most productive Illinois player. That coincidentally happened when Keaton was on the bench. And I feel like that's going to be a thing we navigate. When Keaton's good, it's been a lot of quiet Kylan. When Keaton's not good, it's loud Kylan.
Right. And I feel like you need to you need to find somewhat of some synergy there. And to me it's more so Kylan just finding one of our favorite basketball terms on here on Sleepers is finding the middle somewhat. Like I think you see even looking at his game logs and it feels like this and I was just looking at the game logs to check this like going back to let's say right around Thanksgiving, right? Um he has a 6 point performance, 25 minutes against Rio Grande Valley. Then bounces back with 25, 15 the next game. Then he gives you four in 31 minutes against Ohio State, 20 against Nebraska, in a loss with 20 against Nebraska. Then follows it up with 6 points and then 8 points, and then it's 18. Like, just like, I think finding the middle for him, I think would work out really well for this Illinois team. And then, two, Kylan's probably going through this thing in his head, too, where it's like, he on the fly, I think, is trying to figure out and learn what his role is because I think it has changed a little bit given like what Keaton is doing right now.
Yeah, I don't think it
And in
matters.
an ideal world, you probably want it working right now. Maybe if that shift came to Keaton earlier on, you'd be at that point right now. But I guess at this point, it's about getting that on the same page by the time when it's for real.
I don't think what I'm saying is inherently bad or good. It's just observations, right? My observation right now is just when Keaton's at his best, Kylan is usually at his worst. Or when something is going wrong with Keaton, then Kylan has been really great. And that doesn't matter. Illinois is really good. So like if that's what it's going to be, I don't think it's like a hindrance to this team necessarily. I think I'm more so just curious more than anything. Is there a way to get them both playing A plus games at the same time? Like one thing I think, is kind of a characteristic of the Brad Underwood program in the last 5 years. And maybe this isn't fair. It's come in a lot of different shapes and sizes, but tell me if you agree or disagree on this. Usually, Brad Underwood's team ends up identifying one first option and just spamming it to death.
Mhm.
and everybody else kind of needs to fall in line around it, right? Like, second options through the years, like Will Riley ended up a second option last year. Tommy was kind of a second option. That's great. Kasparis was doing everything for that team. The year before, I think, was probably their best balance of it ever. Damask was really good as a second option while TSJ was the first option, and you could get them both great at the same night. Um, You'd have to go back further. I'm sure Io and Kofi could click at the same time, but like, you get what I'm saying? Like, it just kind of feels like more than most programs, it's like we've got our guy.
Hmm.
Everybody else is kind of gonna watch and learn how to fit in. And this Illinois team is so talented, it doesn't need to feel that way. The ball moves really well through Keaton. I'm not complaining about it, but I do think Kylan is figuring this out. And it's very clear when Keaton's on the bench or when Keaton is struggling, Kylan gets a lot more assertive. To Coy's point that we talked about a little bit a week ago, that doesn't necessarily feel all that good for Illinois. Like, this is another great Kylan game in a pretty iffy Illinois game. And that's
Yeah.
been a theme all season long, is like good Kylan is happening with bad Illinois.
Yeah. And at a certain point, that's not just a coincidence. It's something you actually got to figure out.
Yeah. So my curiosity is just how do they get him and Keaton A+ games at the same time? Do you think they can? Do you think they will at some point this year?
I think they can if we shift what Kylan A+ games look like.
What should they look like? What's the difference?
Well, I guess let me ask you, what is an A+ Kylan game?
Well,
Like, what's the baseline?
for starters, I think Kylan is a better playmaker than he has been this year.
Hmm.
I'm going to point to some things here. Last year on a team with Kasparis playing, Kylan had games with 7, 6, 6, 5, 10, 6, 6, 4, 4, 7, 4, 5, 7, 6 assists. This year, Kylan in the first month had 5 assists, 3, 3, 4, 7 assists. Those were the first 5 games of the year. Since then, as Keaton has emerged, Kylan has not totaled more than 3 assists in a game in 2 months. I don't know if that's by design. Probably is, right? They're playing more through. Well, number one, Andre doesn't pass, but the possessions are being used by Andre, who's a black hole, and then Keaton and Murk, who are passers.
Hmm.
So, like, Kylan's being asked to more be the play finisher, I think, than he has been in the past. But his secondary playmaking, I think, is like pretty important and good and not being utilized. And on this night where Keaton wasn't involved at all, really, 0 assists is weird for me for
Yeah.
Kylan.
Andrei Stojakovic had more assists than Kylan Boswell.
0 assists in 35 minutes should not happen from Kylan.
Yeah, it shouldn't. And it to me, like outside looking in, it seems that because Keaton's doing what he's doing, I could be completely wrong on this one, but this is just kind of what I'm seeing. Is that Kylan has shut off, like in his mind, like, oh, I don't have to do that. Like I don't have to. Where in reality, how tough is this team to check if you got to worry about Keaton playmaking, Kylan playmaking, and Murk? That's 3 playmakers on the floor at once. That's a
Tommy too,
scary,
right?
huh?
Tommy's also a plus playmaker. I know we're gonna get to
Who?
Thomas Lavis. We're gonna get to his stuff in a minute, but I think
Zvonimir's brother.
the beauty of this Illinois team on paper is there are 4 great passers on the floor at the same time. And I think as they're leaning more into Keaton, the other passers are still kind of confused on what their role is now.
Hmm.
So, this is the evolution of a team. They figure it out. Brad teams always do, like, solve it and figure it out. But this is just a weird one for me. Like, Keaton's on the bench in foul trouble. Kylan is a point guard, and he didn't really do point guardy things to me very much in this game. You know?
Yeah, 35 minutes no assist is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Also,
Uh,
they didn't hit shots, so that definitely plays a
Andre,
part.
was this just Andre being who he is? What'd you see from him? Only 12 points, 4 for 9 from the floor. 0 for 2 from three again. He is now 8 for 37 on the season. Just to put that in context a little bit, Andrei Stojakovic is shooting 4% worse from three than Cohen Carr on pretty similar volume to Cohen Carr
From three.
from three.
Not worried about three.
What are you worried about?
What's he doing from two?
We don't care. Like we're just accepting Andre can't shoot.
I think a lot of people accepted that early on. Like maybe not this level. Like that's bad when you put it like that. He's a better shooter than that. But at the same time, I think you said this. I think a lot of people said this, and few people wanted to accept it. Um, he's his last name's Stojakovic. That doesn't make him a shooter.
Yeah. He's 4 for 24 in his last 8 games from three. He's a terrible shooter.
Oh, oh, I just had a bad nickname come to my head.
What?
Is he just handsome Des Claude?
Oh no. Christ. Christ, man. Kinda.
Like, but at least the good thing for him is he chose to play for a winning team, and Des Claude did not
I
twice.
guess I all I'm saying, Andre was fine. He was fine. On a night where Kylan's not passing, Keaton's in foul trouble, and Tommy stinks. Honestly, this would have been a great night for Andre to get 30
There was no chance. Like, he's not gonna waste a 30-point night
on
on the
Penn State.
on the Palace on the Palestra,
Yeah.
respectfully. Like,
Yeah.
just because Fran McCaffrey was there, we're fine.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. Would have been a great night to get like I would almost rather Andre's like the cupcake beater. Like against bad teams, just let Andre get his 35 and keep it moving. And I don't know. Like he was fine. He can't shoot. I think we all got to accept that. The hard part, frustrating part for me, if I was an Illinois fan, would be he. I think him not shooting was supposed to still be better than this, right? Like, wasn't Andre can't shoot supposed to be like 30%, not 20%?
Yeah,
So this has gone from like it's not just he's a bad shooter to like he literally can't shoot. Teams are not going to guard him, and that's going to affect his effectiveness in other ways. I will give Andre some credit for this real quick. I was real critical of his free throw shooting early in the season. He's up to 81% from free throw, and he is 22 for 22 in a row from the free throw line right now in 5 games.
that's
So he,
that's special stuff. Well, wait, that should correlate though.
so he is Cohen Carr.
Stop.
Cohen did this exact thing in December to Jan. He made 21 straight free throws, and everyone was like, the threes are going to start to go in because he made his free throws.
Hey,
He made
everyone.
21. He made 21 straight free throws.
Hey, listen here. There's a lot of people that do the whole like, you know, free throw positive aggression talk. So it happens, okay?
Sure, yes. Not from three. Not from
Oh,
three.
I thought we do the whole like free throw to 3-point thing.
There are times it makes sense to do it, not with Andre, who is a lifelong poor shooter from three. Not with
Fair.
Cohen, who, I mean, just use your eyes sometimes, folks.
Yeah, fair.
Right. So, okay. Did we give Murk enough love yet? Because like he was the KenPom MVP, 13, 10, and 3 on a night where we're kind of being critical of everybody else. Murk was pretty awesome and not like doing too much, not chaotic. So I feel like, he probably was by definition the best player for Illinois in this game.
Yeah, I mean, outside of the foul trouble stuff that hindered him, I liked all the shot attempts. He didn't hit any threes in this game, which you don't really like. That doesn't do good for my did Murk hit his threes Twitter account. But besides that, I think more assist and turnovers, 10 boards. He was active. I really liked what he did. Made his free throws. I thought he was very deserving of that KenPom MVP.
Yeah, thought it was a great Merck performance. Really did. And thought Illinois needed it in a lot of ways. 5 offensive rebounds for him. He is living up to what Brad is asking of him very clearly. Can I Can I float a Murk theory that I have right now?
Sure.
You'll probably just like maneuver out of this, I think. But my theory is that when David Mirkovich is Illinois' best player, say he gets a Ken Pom MVP, every time that happens, Illinois will win the game. I
What
don't,
games do you have the list of games where he's won Ken Palm MVP?
yeah, I knew you would go this route. Jackson State, Colgate, Penn State.
Hmm. I mean, three
But,
wins. Three wins.
but in comparison to a couple, like we've said, Kylan's been at his best in their losses. Andre's had some big games in iffy games. It's usually Keaton and Murk that are good when Illinois is good. And Murk, this was not a great Illinois game by any means, but like I think it's a good sign that like Murk stepped up and delivered on a night where nobody else really was on fire.
Yeah, they needed him to. Even with his foul trouble, he still played more minutes than Keaton in this one. So, yeah, I think it's about Murk being in control, and when he's in control, he's good, and he was in control in this basketball game.
That he was. Okay. Bench. We are going to likely eviscerate Thomas Lavis in like the next 5 minutes. So I'm just looking for every way to like do everything else first. Bench. Any notes from you on the bench?
I mean, good Big Z performance. 10 rebounds, 6 points in 23 minutes. Made a three, 1 of 4 from the free throw line, which really hindered what this team could have did for the free throw line in this basketball game. But yeah, once again, furthering himself as the best of visage basketball player in college basketball. Um,
5 blocks.
yeah, like he's just we'll get to it. We will get to it. But
I've seen
yeah,
some talk from certain Illinois folks that like it's pretty clear he's just the best rim protector Brad has had. A couple times that felt crazy to me. Like early in the year, I was like, okay, he had 7 blocks against a bad. Like, okay, yeah, sure. Not feeling all that crazy to me anymore. Like, is he the best shot blocker Brad Underwood has coached at Illinois?
yeah, I think so. Because I think that I don't think that's crazy to say because I mean they don't really get shot blockers.
Yeah, I guess I'm trying to think who the past ones would be. They didn't have one last year.
It's like Caleb Williams being the best like Bears quarterback and passer of all time and leader in passing yards. Well, no one's hit 4K yards.
Was Kofi ever really a block rate guy? Not really, right?
No.
Yeah, I guess they just yeah, you're right. It's like they've been playing Dane Danger, Coleman Hawkins, and Kofi.
Yeah, like add any shot blockers to this team, they would they'd be in the running to break the shot block record.
Yeah, I guess that's true. We'll say this: it fundamentally changes Illinois for the better when Brad Underwood has a shot blocker. So, like, I would like to see him replicate this in the future. Whenever
Mhm.
Zvonimir moves on from Illinois, like, I hope they go out and seek a Zvonimir replacement to do what he's doing because I think it has helped Illinois a lot.
Yeah, and I think it helps them defensively. I think I mean, even pointing to last year, like it was free chicken at the rim at all times.
Yeah.
It's not when Big Z's on the floor.
Yep. Davis and Hummer combined 2 for 8 from three in this game. They played 40 minutes total, 8 points between them. Just a quiet, we didn't make our shots game, basically.
My guys that are supposed to make 3-point shots went 2 for 8 combined. Not a fan of that, which led to a really awful 3-point shooting night in general. But yeah, I don't know. I think if I'm getting nitpicky in a game like this, would have liked to see maybe one of those guys have like a really good performance, like a really good Henrikhouse performance in like 26 minutes would have felt right in this spot, or even a Jake Davis moment in this spot, but you didn't really get that.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's all Keaton's fault. Keep your hands to yourself.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. All right. I got nothing else on the bench. We already did Petro. I think that leads us to
Wait. One last thing.
what?
I have a theory.
What?
Does Brad know that Brad knows that like Big Z right now is his best center, but is he scared to play the Montenegrin dickheads together? Because I
Oh,
can close my eyes right now and like that duo is at its peak. What do you do with that? Murk, boards, pass, skill, shit talk, all that. While at the same time, Big Z, bomb, boom, three-point your head top, dunk on you, blocking shots. But that pairing between the like, and I don't even know, like that pairing is just so volatile at the same time. Do you think he's scared to get there? Which I think we can pivot to the next point. They need to fix. They need to fix Big T. They need to fix him because this is great what you're getting from Big Z, but you need to fix Big T
yeah,
because I can't. Those two together, I can't get negative thoughts out of my head about how it ends.
right. Yeah, I hear it. I hear it. If that is true, I think I want to give credit to Brad for kind of sniffing that out and avoiding it.
Big
With
T's
that
making it tough
said,
on him to avoid.
well, that's with that said, they have to get good Big T back. They
Yeah,
have to for this team to go where it wants to go. And I guess that's a good segue into let's light it on fire. Before I go down my path, can I call an ISO a little bit on this?
can I get the call?
Yeah.
If you want an ISO, you gotta ask for it.
Well, like your thoughts here, I want them, and I want your basketball player experience, big man going through it type. Like I want that analysis from you on what you're seeing. Before that, I feel like I love this Illinois team. I love this Illinois program, and I have spent most of this year being abundantly direct about my praise for everything that's happening with Illinois and how much I appreciate it. Do you agree?
Yeah,
I haven't really come with anything that's like, oh, other than the Andre stuff at times, which I think proved true. I haven't really gone after anything that's frustrating me. It's time to throw that aside because I'm getting genuinely, I don't know, angry. I'm getting angry at this. Um, I don't understand what has happened to Thomas Lav. I don't accept any excuses for what has happened to Thomas Lav. And if I were an Illinois fan, I would be, I think, vehemently mad at what I'm getting from Tomislav for a variety of big picture and little picture reasons. And I understand it's weird that I have to be the one to talk about this, but let's just reframe this a little bit. Um, to me, the story of Illinois' offseason was basically prioritizing Thomas Lavicic's wants, needs, and feelings over anything else in the program. And maybe I'm being a little bit dramatic about that. I own that, but I'm dramatic. So let's just call it what it is. They made roster decisions. Everything Illinois did this offseason was centered around keeping Thomas Lavis happy. Like I think they wanted Merez back. I think they wanted Merez and Big T together. But they burned that relationship because they cared more about the Thomas Lav relationship. They cared more about the Thomas Lav relationship because they thought he was a better player. And they thought if we keep the better player, Tomislav, oh, by the way, we can get his brother. Oh, by the way, his agents got these other two. They got this power forward Murk. They got this point guard Petro. Like, dog, we can go all in on Tomislav's friends. That's going to be our culture. That's our team. Get the jumpsuits. Like, yeah, because Tomislav's our best player. He's all Big Ten. He's an All American. He's going to be that. And oh, by the way, we're paying Tommy more than anybody else on the team, too. That is the entire offseason plan here, Cart. And they've been fortunate and give them credit for it. But like Keaton being so damn good has totally changed what this team was supposed to be on paper into something different that I think is better than what it was supposed to be. But what it was supposed to be was Thomas Lav's team. They compensated him as if it was his team. They made cutthroat roster building decisions as if it was his program. He's next up. You're the guy. And what they have gotten back from Thomas Lav is a worse player across the board in every possible way. I think he has gotten worse at everything from last year to
Hmm.
this year. His rebounding rates are down, rim protection rates down, scoring's down, 3-point shooting's the same, free throw shooting's down. He does nothing on the court right now in his minutes at the same level he did a year ago. And I understand there are people who will watch what has happened to Thomas Lav and say, well, the supporting cast is better this year. Like his numbers are down because Keaton's so good. Kylan's better. Andre's here now. Murk's really like, yes, you're right. This supporting cast is better than it was a year ago. But this roster also still has questions that are largely Thomas Lav's questions. Is this group tough enough to win a national championship? My answer is probably not because they play the Aviciches at the five. Like
Hmm.
you have to get the good stuff from Tommy in order to make all the sacrifices you made worth it. And you're not getting any of them right now because I don't think it's an exaggeration to say he's been one of the worst players in the entire league in 3 Big Ten games. He's averaging 3 and 3 in 24 minutes a game on 20% shooting from everywhere in 3 Big Ten games right now. He might as well be Jesse McCulloch, but rock the jumpsuits. That's what our program does. Make anything to keep Misco happy. Who, mind you, can we look at like Murk looks pretty good. Obviously, Murk looks good. That's great. Imagine how good Murk would look if you paired him with Merez. And your defense would be a lot better too. And you'd have the toughness you need to win a championship. But anything to keep Misco happy. He can get us the Adriatic League MVP, who is playing less than Brandon Lee right now. Like, you went down this path for Tommy. Tommy has to hold up his end of the bargain at some point. And I think it's time for people to speak on it that way because if this is what he's going to be, it's a huge problem for Illinois.
So you know me, I've never been a Tomislav truther. I think that what he did last year, you definitely got to pay mind to it, right, and acknowledge it for what it was. But I also feel like there was issues that came along with that. This is crazy to me, though. Like what he's done in the 3 Big Ten games so far is insane. To the point that I have no other way to go about this, but then that something's wrong with him. Something has to be wrong.
Do you have any ideas?
Knowing the advantages, it could be anything.
I mean, one of his most similar KenPom player comps right now is John Horford,
Bro, he's just bad.
which in some ways is funny because, like, he's the worst brother.
Also, just like let's play this game because I feel like this was something that was played earlier in the season because you could go back and forth. What Give me one thing that makes you want to play Big T over Big Z. Give me one basketball quality.
It's supposed to be rebounding,
It,
but Tommy's not rebounding.
he's not rebounding. He's a 7-footer that doesn't get to the line more than 4 times in a basketball game. That's how he plays. I get it. But like he's not doing anything.
I mean, Zvonimir, his rebounding rates are higher on both offense and defense right now than Tommy. And that's supposed to be a Tommy skill set strength.
Right. But
So
like also like everything's just down for Big T this season. Minutes, attempts, everything down.
is there any chance he's still just hurt? His minutes share
It,
has not been as if he's hurt.
it hasn't been, but I just the play to me says that there's got to be something wrong with him.
All right.
Or
So
or he did the Marlon Humphrey thing.
what's that?
You know that Marlon Humphrey became the highest paid corner in NFL like 2 years ago.
Uh-huh.
did Big T contract year himself?
It's possible.
Like, there's a world where like Big T, and I don't like doing this, but like at the same time, it's hard not to do it. There's a world where like, yeah, Big T is affected by injuries and things like that. That's unfortunate. That's something he can't control. Like sicknesses, all this, like him being snake bitten is a thing. Also, like he averaged what last year? 13 and 8 and almost 3 assists. I mean, I came to the first league. I came to this Big Ten college basketball first year. I'm Big T. I'm good.
Right.
It is what it is. Was I don't know, like was the correct mindset approach into the season? Was it correct?
Well,
Because
it's pretty obvious to me that's a no. And it might not even be his fault, but like you just like the stories from
it
the
could
offseason.
could be his fault though too.
I mean, this dude, like, he was never available. And then even like he missed Big Ten Media Day for tonsil surgery. And then tonsil surgery lingered a month, and they were using that as an excuse. Like it just the everything I've heard with Tommy in the last calendar year since he re-signed his extension to come back to Illinois has been unserious, including, mind you, when he re-signed, he was giving all these interviews about how, oh, this is one last year, one last run at it. Dog, you don't come into a year when you're not even like a guaranteed NBA draft selection and call it one more year if you're serious about this. Seriously, like no, how can you come into a year when you are not guaranteed to get drafted and be telling everybody, "Oh, this is my last retirement tour." Like you have to get better to get where you want to go. Talk championships. Don't talk this is my last year. But Tommy was
Mhm.
telling anyone who would listen, this is it for me. What? Because you want to go back to Europe? Because you just got your like that is what I'm seeing. I think this is a totally checked out version of Tommy. And Illinois is really good with the checked out version of Tommy. So I guess cool. You got his brother and Murk's really good. Like
Maybe they could go to a Final Four to get him checked in.
could win a title if they get Tommy just back to what he was last year, even. Not even take stride. He does like the whole idea of he was going to be a breakout all Big Ten player was cool. It made sense. Throw that out the window. Just give me what he was last year. And this team, I think, can win a national title. But, dog, he looks slow. He looks disengaged. He isn't making shots. His rebounding effort's atrocious. That's the thing that frustrates me most, too. And I think we're going to do this in a separate video today, so I'll be redundant on it. But the thing that frustrates me most is Brad holds everyone accountable with rebounding except for Tommy. Like he hit the podium this game and just had no problem with Tommy's performance after 2 rebounds in 17 minutes. Dog, he's gone after Murk when he gives you like 8 boards in the same minute. So I don't get it. Well, he's handling the kid with kid gloves. I can't even call him a kid because he's 23. We did float this out in the offseason when they signed Zvonimir, and I think we thought it would be applicable to Zvonimir and not Big T. But you remember when they signed Zvonimir, I floated the idea, is it a good thing to have both these guys together? Can you have
Mm,
too much Ivisic in one room?
mm.
Are we sure that Big T and Big Z being in the same program at the same time is good for either one's development? My thought would be, on paper, I thought it would hurt Zvonimir. I thought he would be a dickhead and it would just go south. Is there a chance that that's what's happening here?
I think that's a way to look at it. But also at the simple part of it too is that like we live in a world like there's like college basketball players can do this. There can be a level of complacency and not getting better and not playing up to your standards and it's just and I think either with or without Big Z there, I think there's an environment right now with him and him Brad's relationship that's conducive to that like being okay.
Yeah,
And
I
the
don't know.
scary part of this would be for me, and the part that you bring up too, is that if I'm another guy on this team, why am I being eviscerated for performances? Why am I being talked about the way I'm being talked about in certain realms, certain press conferences, when the guy that you do everything for, probably one of the highest paid players on the team, gets to put up Brandon Lee numbers?
Right. I mean, I read Brad's comments after this where he was defending Tommy. He said, nobody trusts Tommy more than me. He's fine. Actually, he cut off
We
a reporter.
we know that,
A,
so
a,
maybe
rep-
that's the issue.
a reporter said, do you need to get more out of Tommy? And Brad said, what? I don't understand what you mean. On a night where he had 0 and 2 in 17 minutes. So like Brad's trying to I read those comments as Brad knowing Tommy's in a bad spot and trying to pick him up. If that's what he's doing, I applaud it. Like I trust Brad Underwood to pull the right strings with his guys. I guess let me just warp my own too much of Isich in one room idea into something here's a theory from me. Before they came to college, when they were just European prospects, what was the scout on the two of them as a package deal and individually?
Big Z's just like this do it all unicorn 7-footer. Uh, Big T. Honestly, I don't even remember like what the Big T, like a stretch big. I don't even know.
Big Z's a special player, special prospect, future NBA player.
Yeah,
Tommy is a good high floor veteran European pro.
yeah.
Is
I don't know.
there any world that getting Zvonimir back in the same room when you've, I think, kind of grown up to get, and maybe I'm wrong on this. I did not follow these guys when they were 16, 17 years old. I'm just going off what we were told when one committed to Kentucky, John Calipari, and one committed to Illinois. A year later than Zvonimir, by the way. We were told that Zvonimir was the better player, better prospect, higher ceiling kid. Is there any world that these two have grown up together and the dynamic mentally and emotionally between them has been that, hey, younger bro's the special one. Big bro's good, but big bro's not Zvonimir.
Mm.
And now they're in the same room, and that's some weird mental hurdle for Tommy that he can't get over. Is shit, he is
His
better
younger
than
brother's shadow.
well, just he is better than me. Like deep down, Tommy has been built up to believe like he's better than me. And watch him step on the like you said, what does Big T do better than Big Z? I don't know that Big T could answer that right now. And now there's 20 years of growing up hearing that he's the first one to go to college. He's the one that's on the NBA radar. It just so happened like it was a huge credit to Brad Underwood. Tommy was a better player than Zvonimir last year, but that wasn't the expectation ever. So
Yeah. How old is Thomas Law?
I want to say 23.
Okay. Well, here's
22.
my
He's
here's
22
my
right now.
here's my pitch. Get over that. If that's what that is, that's insane. Oh, my little brother's more talented. Why can't I be good? Like living under his
I'm not
shadow.
saying
Like,
he's doing that, but I'm saying the yips are real. Mental hurdles are real. I've seen you pick up a 7 iron before. Took you years to figure that out.
yeah. But the thing is, I think his yips are mental. My 7-iron yips are physical.
I think if
I mentally approached that like phenom when I was over my 7-iron.
I think there was a moment a couple years ago that just removing the 7 iron from your bag would have helped your golf scores, though. Like, just keep my brother
Oh,
away
so
from me.
remove no, but in this case, can Thomas Law be the 7-iron?
When Tomislav is the only Ivisic in a room, he can't be the worst Ivisic.
Mm.
This is very philosophical. I'm probably making this something it's not, but I'm trying to define how a player as good as Tomislav Ivisic can be as bad as he is right now. And
Was that a fake good year?
the rebounding numbers were inflated for sure. The rebounding numbers were inflated because he was playing most of his minutes with Benham Rickhouse. So, yeah, I think that was fake rebounding effort. Now you got
Hey,
Murk next to you, and Murk is a great
fake rebounding, and he shot it well. And when he's not doing that, then what's he doing?
anchoring an iffy defense usually.
Right. The
Yeah.
non-defender, he's slow. Like, truthfully, he's a specialist.
Yeah.
He's a specialist, and right now he's not hitting shots.
How does this resolve itself? Does it get figured out?
At this point, how does anyone feel confident saying it does?
I mean, I don't think it's going to be this bad again, but it doesn't feel likely to turn.
Dog, if you can't do this against Penn, like also, outside of what they played, I mean, look the front courts in the Big Ten. Like Ohio State's got Tilly and obviously Nebraska too in their own right, Mass and the crew. But like, dog, you played Penn State and you couldn't even get anything going.
Yeah, I mean,
Tougher front courts to come.
7-2 against Ohio State, 3-5 against Nebraska, 0-2 against Penn State. Pretty much all his shots are coming from three. I mean, he's in three Big Ten games in 60 minutes on the court cart. He's attempted 5 shots from 2-point range. He's attempted 10 shots from three.
He doesn't want to go inside because I screamed it last year and I'll scream it forever. He's a finesse, light in the ass, big.
Yeah, it would drive me crazy. And again, we've talked about this, but like it would drive me crazy. The most expensive players on this team are delivering this. And if we are really psychoanalyzing all this, like you're talking contract year. I mean, is there any world that Tommy and Petro are boys? And as it's become obvious, Petro's like, dog, I don't care. I'm getting $1 million to sit here and not play. This is the best year of my life.
Mm.
Maybe that's rubbing off on Tommy. Dog, you don't have to do anything else now. Look at me. Like, and I'm not, again, by all accounts, this team is a cohesive, good group. I'm not saying these guys are actually doing this. An explanation like that would make more sense than Tommy losing all of his basketball ability. There's got to be something going on here.
Yeah. And will we ever find out? Probably like 5 years from now. But like, I don't think anytime soon.
What's the ROI on a Misco player for an Illinois donor? I mean,
Like what?
Petro's a total loss.
I mean, you gotta factor in everything though. Like we're selling merch, we're selling jumpsuits.
So it's a revenue play,
Yeah,
just like Luke Altmaier t-shirts.
yeah.
Got it. They got to get him good.
It's not coming.
You don't think it's coming?
No. But like that, I don't think it's coming because I'm not a big T truther.
Yeah, you weren't a fan before this year. I mean, he has the Tennessee game to point to, but that was just kind of like a made all his shots game.
Yeah, that was I don't even know what they call Nashville, but like that was a Broadway Street, Dago Pavia, get to break a guitar performance.
Yeah. I mean, a year ago he was basically Hunter Dickinson. Now he's John Horford.
Is he
That's
mentally Hunter Dickinson too, but also just not as good?
He might be what people thought Hunter Dickinson was, like a
Yeah.
checked out prima donna superstar.
Like this is what Kansas fans should go back and apologize to Hunter because this is what checked out bad Hunter Dickinson would look like.
Yeah. All right. Congrats, Illinois. 8-point win.
Plestra.
It's hard to go into the Palestra. Fran McCaffrey's house. Did
I've never lost at the Plestra, have you?
you see the picture of Orlando and Brad with Fran in the pregame?
Yeah.
What'd you think of it?
I didn't know Big O was built like me.
Well, that's I think Christmas break did a number on the Antigua household.
Hey, no, hey, it's about enjoying yourself. We'll get back in the program at the start of the year. But I did not have my belly same size as Antigua Eagles belly on my bingo card.
Also, like, I think we've criticized the Illinois social department a little bit in recent, like a weird offseason for Illinois. Felt like they just didn't do a lot of good Illinois offseason content the way they have in the past. You can't put that angle up on the main.
I'm definitely like going to like, God, come on, man, like just crop that.
Just crop or like just turn a little bit. You know, AI exists too. We could work on that.
No more AI photos, please.
I don't AI Illinois sounds like AI Tommy Yavisic could be fun.
If they could, okay,
Wait,
they need to get like a 3D printer and put in a new version and get another like 3D printed AI version
isn't
of Thomas
Zvonimir
Lavis.
just AI Tommy?
Yeah, but also like if someone did it, but also was like fucking around while they like input stuff.
I feel like Illinois would be the first program that would employ an AI player if
I I could
possible.
see that. Yeah.
Anything for competitive advantage. Congrats, Illinois. Up to eighth on Ken Palm after all of this. Great job.